Hi, my name's Jason, and today we're going to be showing you a healthy alternative food source instead of Doritos and your general nacho chips around the game table. We're making kale chips today. The ingredients you need are fairly simple: kale, olive oil, and a seasoning salt or salt of your choice, some kind of flavoring, anything will do really. First thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees. This should take probably 10 to 15 minutes total, start to finish. Take your kale. You are going to tear your kale into bite-sized pieces. So, anything about this big, maybe half of that. The kale will shrink in the oven. It will decrease its size significantly, so don't worry if you're tearing it too big. You actually have to be more concerned with tearing it too small. So, once you have your kale torn, you're going to put it into a salad spinner. If you do not have a salad spinner, which is a great way to dry any kind of lettuce, you can also press the kale dry, as we will be washing it, using anything like paper towel, same way you would do with bacon really, and we all know how much we love bacon, so it shouldn't be too hard. Now, once you have all your kale torn and into the spinner, we're going to wash the kale out in the sink first. So you want to make sure the kale is nice and washed out. Toss it a little as you are washing it, just to make sure everything does get clean. You can't get residues and things from the farm where it was grown left on the kale. The important part to having a salad spinner is it does add quite a bit of fun to the process. So for those of you who are not the best cooks, at the very least you may take a little bit of enjoyment from pressing this button over and over again. Now you really want to spin this. You have to get all the water out, make sure it's nice and dry, because if you don't have it dry in the oven, it's not going to taste right after it comes out, and it may not cook as well as you think it would. So, having spun dry that, first thing we're going to do is take our olive oil and a bowl, a fairly large sized bowl so you can toss it in the olive oil. Empty the kale into the bowl. There we go. And I'll let you take care of the olive oil part. Here we go.
1 tablespoon.
1 tablespoon of olive oil for the entire bowl of kale. Don't overdo it, or you'll drown the kale in oil. Also, you'll want to get yourself a nice hat and apron to impress your friends. They'll think you actually know what you're doing. Seasoning salt is then added to the bowl, or salt or whatever flavoring of your choice. I've had it suggested to use popcorn flavoring or just dill, a spice from the cupboard, it'll work. It really depends on your preferences. We prefer it with just the salt. Adds just a little bit of flavor without overdoing it. And no one will blame you if it tastes like salt. So mix all that together in the bowl, make sure you get a nice even coat on all the chips. That's what separates it from just being kale, is the flavoring, so it's the most important part. And after we're done mixing, you're going to want a cookie sheet or baking sheet, as they are called. And you're just going to lay the kale chip out evenly on the sheet. Spread it out. Again, it will shrink, so don't be too concerned if there's a little bit of overlap when it comes out. It'll be nice and the perfect size. So, now that you've got your kale laid out on the sheet, that's really all it takes. You've done all the prep work, the oven is preheated. You're going to want to go with the middle rack on your oven for a proper cooking, and set the oven timer to 10 minutes. So the oven timer to 10 minutes. And after that's done, you let the kale cook. It should be perfect at 10 minutes and 350 degrees. That's the entire tutorial. And you'll have yourself a nice healthy snack.